Hello, Wired fam. Hope everybody's doing well this evening. What's going on out there in Crappie world, Crappie land, Crappie universe, Crappie, all the different things that the Crappie world can be? What is up? Hope you guys are doing all right tonight. We got 19 on right now. Let's give everybody a little time to get on. My computer to catch up. Next cast. All right. What is going on, Wired family? What's going on? All right, guys, don't forget when you get on tonight, we're back on my cell phone tonight because my computer, like I said last week, I got a new computer and the colors were all messed up. I don't know why. I don't know if it was the lights in the shop or what. It had the colors all funky last week, but we're back on the cell phone tonight. So if I go like this a lot, guys, it's because I'm trying to read y'all's comments on my cell phone, okay? So I'm going to figure out what's going on with the computer, but I hadn't had time yet. And when I do, we'll get back on the computer. But for tonight, we're back on the cell phone. So hopefully you guys can hear me and see me well. As always, guys, when y'all get on, drop me a hello. Let me know where you're from. I always like to hear from you guys and see how far we're reaching and kind of where we're reaching as far as the United States is concerned. And actually, even outside the United States, because we've had Canada and we've had some other countries that have been on with us as well. So drop me a hello. Let me know where you're from. We always like to say hello back. I always like to say hello back and see how far we're reaching. So make sure you drop a hello. Let me know where you're from, guys and gals. Tom A. from Pennsylvania. What's going on? Tim Ben. Is that correct? Tim Ben. Hello from Iowa. What's going on? Oh, there it went. Caught up. Johnny Suttles. I'm back. What's going on, Johnny? Hello from Northport, Alabama. What's going on, David? Heidi Clark. Hi, Matt from Idaho. How are you, Laura, and the boys? Everybody's doing good, Heidi. We got a new addition to the fam. I guess I will have to show you guys that next week because this week I think she's occupied at the moment. But nonetheless, maybe next week we'll show you guys the new addition to the fam. We do have a new addition here at the Wired House, and I'll show you guys that next week. But let's see here. Or maybe we'll have time tonight. Stay tuned. We might have time tonight to show you guys the new addition, maybe. Hello, Matt from Chattanooga, Tennessee. Lake Chick. What's going on, James? Mike, hello from Kentucky. What's up? Ray Pratt. What's going on, Ray? Ray, I just want to say thank you because I went fishing today and I absolutely wore them out today on a lot of nice buckets. Okay, so hey, Ray, I want to say thanks, buddy. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you. All right, Jeffrey Smith. Good evening, Matt and the Wired fam, Rogersville, Tennessee. I'm trying to get ready for this tournament coming up. Is what it is. I'm trying to get ready. Paul Gwynn from Chattanooga. What's going on, Paul? Johnny Coots from Ringgold, Georgia. What's up? Albert, hear you good all the way in Indiana. What's going on from Indiana? Jonathan, hello from Bee Springs, Kentucky. Eric Reeder, hello, Matt from Clinton, Iowa. Come on, warmer weather. Yeah, there's warmer weather coming. Well, I say there's warmer weather coming. There's warmer weather here for the next day or two, and then it's going to go back down. So we're going to talk about that tonight. So tonight's question on the board, okay, or the question on the chopping block tonight, guys, is February lull. Is there a February lull, okay? And we're going to talk about that tonight. That's the question. Do you get those February lulls? And what you can do to be sorry, my phone's going off here. what you can try to do to be more successful if you find that you're in that February lull. So we're going to talk about that a little bit more tonight. I won't give it all away right now, but I'm looking forward to it. Let's get some more hellos out of the way before we go on, though. Dakota, what's going on from Madisonville, Tennessee? Zach Carson checking in from Oklahoma. What's going on? Scott from Westchester, Ohio. Your neighbor from Oak Ridge. What's going on? I'm going to be in Oak Ridge. So we're going to be in Oak Ridge this weekend, actually. Johnny, I'll be there this weekend fishing with the East Tennessee Crappie Club on Melton Hill Lake. Got a tournament this Saturday. Been preparing for that, trying to get ready for it. Melton Hill has been a nemesis of mine for a long time. Not really a nemesis. Look, I mean, I can go catch fish on Melton Hill. There ain't no doubt. Last time I was on Melton Hill, I caught like 75 fish, and really, really, really had a good day. So, there's a lot of fish in Melton Hill. There really is. But Melton Hill can be a cantankerous lake just because of the nature of the lake. If they're generating, it's really truly a river. Okay, it's not much of a lake. There's a few bays and a few pockets that you can get in, but not many. And once you get in the ones that there is, I mean, there's only one or two that really have depth throughout the creek. The rest of the pockets, as soon as you hit the pocket, it's just shallow. I mean, it's 4 or 5 feet deep at most. A lot of grass. It's a true river system. Okay, it's a true river lake, and when they're generating, when they're pulling water through it, you can generally catch fish. When they're not pulling water, it is tough. I'm telling you, it's tough. Or can be tough if you don't know where to find those fish when they're not pulling. So, spend a lot of time on Melton Hill. Have developed what I'll call a pattern on Melton Hill. So I'm looking forward to the tournament this weekend. It's going to be a fun time. I'm actually excited about it. I was telling Jimmy Pratt the other day, and probably Ray probably heard this too, is I got a little bit of a magic bait that I'm bringing with me. I'm not going to tell anybody about that until after the tournament, but after the tournament, we'll go over that, and it's going to be interesting. I'm looking forward to it. I think I mentioned it last week that I found a pattern that is really, really cool, and I don't think anybody else is fishing, and I was able to really put some good fish in the boat. So we'll see. That was then, this is now. Who really knows? But we're going to find out come Saturday because it's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm looking forward to it. So, Johnny, if you're in the neighborhood, the tournament is at Carbide Park. The weigh-in will be from about 4 o'clock on until everybody's weighed in. So it'll probably start right around 4 o'clock, weigh-in will. So if you're in the area and you want to come by Carbide Park and you want to see us weigh in, you want to see some fish and see who wins tournament, guys, come on out. I mean, we're going to be in Oak Ridge at Carbide Park on Melton Hill Lake. Like I said, Saturday, 4 o'clock, okay? 4 p.m. Let's see. Where's everybody at? Oh, crap. I lost my spot. I'll find it in a sec. Hey, there it is. Pan Fishing Fool. Hey, Victor from Indiana. Crappie Crazy. What's going on? Rick Martin. Hello from Arkansas. Michelle Truitt. What's going on here? I'm sure that's my little niece Bells. Let's see. Nathan Wood. Hey, everyone from Wabash, Indiana. What's going on, Nathan? Bill Royals. Hello, Matt from Palestine, Texas. I can't wait to see the new addition to the family. Well, I'll tell you what. Heidi wants to see the new. I'll be right back. Give me 33 seconds. I'll be right back. All right. Looky there, looky there. Say hello, Wired Fam. Say hello, Wired Fam. Guys, this is Lolly. This is Lolly. Say hello. Say hello. Lolly is our new little Cocker Spaniel that Mom picked up. Say yeah. Say I am. Say yes, I am. Say hello, Lolly. Say hello, Lolly dog. Yeah. That's our new little addition, Heidi. She's a sweetie. She's a little bitty thing. Say hello. Say we just got her. She just got weaned. We've had her about a week. Well, no, we hadn't even had her a week. I think we picked her up Friday last week. So we hadn't even had her a week, but we love her. She's a sweetheart. All right, let's see. LaRue, what's up, guys? Sorry, we're going to miss the tournament this week. We are going to Grenada, man. Hey, now I'm just going to tell you real quick and in a hurry. If I had a Grenada trip, I wouldn't be going either, my friend. Hey, you'll be missed, though, for real. LaRue, we'll miss you at the tournament, buddy. But, yeah, I mean, hey, if I was going to Grenada, I'd probably be going down there, too, as opposed to where I'm headed, the old Melton Hill. Joel Nash, the Joel Nash in the house. What's going on? Jimmy Pratt, hello, hello. Charlie Davison behind Gunnies. Hey, Matt, what's going on, Charles? Hello, hello. Scott Seal, Central Alabama, checking in. What's going on, Scott? Hold up. Hold up. Oh, thank you, Albert. I appreciate that. I appreciate the super chat very much, buddy. Look, Lolly, you got your first super chat. Look, go see it. We see it right there. That's your first super chat. You got a super chat from Mr. Albert. What's going on? Say thank you, Mr. Albert. Say we'll get some treats. Say we'll get some treats. Yeah. She says, I was sleeping, Dad. She was upstairs sleeping. I woke her up. I feel bad about it, but it's all right. She'll be all right. She's a boat dog. She's going to be a boat dog. She's going to be in the boat with me, guys. I'm just telling you. Okay? For those of you that have been with the channels long enough, you remember Rusty, my old Rust dog. He's on my, if you guys go watch one of my videos and you watch the intro on one of my videos, you'll see old Rust dog. And I had to put Rust dog down, I guess about a year and a half ago. And it was very hard on me and I was not ready for another dog yet. But I guess I got ready because Mama went and picked one up. So I guess I got ready real quick. But thank you very much, Mr. Albert. We appreciate the super chat. All right. Let's see here. Heidi says, yes, there is a February lull. Everything is frozen here. Lots of laughs. Look at my messages to you. Lots of laughs, Ray said. That was you that texted me, Ray? I seen it come through, but I didn't catch who it was fast enough. David, hello from Ringgold, Georgia. What's going on? Johnny Suttles. From what I've seen there, using the mud for cover instead of structure, you know what I'm talking about. It's strange. Shh, Johnny. Shh. Say nothing. If you're depending on magic fairy dust, you're in trouble. Yeah. If I'm dependent on magic fairy dust, Jimmy says, trust me, I don't have magic fairy dust. I got what you need, Jimmy. I got what you need. You don't worry, buddy. I'm coming with some ferociousness this Saturday. I'm gonna be ready, and we're gonna go round and round. That ain't no doubt. These kids are all asleep. I can't wait to see this new edition too. Haha. Well, here she is. Here her is. Her so pretty. Her so pretty girl. All right. Hey, quit biting me. Nathan said she is beautiful. Thank you, Nathan. I appreciate that. Scott, precious. Michelle, love her. Thank y'all. There's my beautiful wife. She says she's the cutest. Yes, her is. Yes, her is. Hey, don't bite my ear. She's an ear biter. See, I'm an ear biter. Lolly is so cute. Wait until you see all the fur. I've had Cocker Spaniels. She's precious. Well, that's okay. We're not worried about the fur. That'd be all right. You'll be all right. Yes, you will. Yes, you will. I just see a lot of mother and daughter bonding uh, grooming visits is what I see. Okay, I see a bunch of grooming visits for this little puppy right here. She's gonna be groomed. She is very precious. Thank y'all very much. Jackie, hey Matt, you finally get warmed up Saturday. What size braided line is going best going to Crappie Cove tomorrow? Wow, Tennessee just beat Alabama. So 12-pound. That's two teams. That's two Tennessee teams that beat Alabama this year. That's pretty good, ain't it? All right, so 12-pound bonehead braid, Jackie, is what we were using. And Jackie, some of what we experienced this past weekend is what we're going to talk about tonight. Some of this February lull, okay? We'll get into it here in just a second. Let me see where we're at. Where we at? Ow. Paul, I received a couple large packages today. We'll be contacting to set up and install. Yep, holler at me, Paul. I'm ready when you are, buddy. I got a couple boats left to do this week. I got one here tonight, got another one Thursday, and then I got another one coming Friday, but I should be good next week. So let's talk a little bit about February lull. All right, so February lull. Let's talk about what causes the February lull. There is a period of time in February where, especially on some of your dirtier lakes, okay, let's talk about the dirtier lakes. So some of your dirtier lakes, okay, warm up quicker. All right. So when you start having these warming days, okay, when you start seeing those temperatures, they start creeping back up in February. Okay. Hey, you can't steal the show. You got to be quiet. Excuse you. Thank you. So when you get these warmer days, okay, the dirtier lakes, they start warming up a little quicker. And you get that first wave, especially that first full moon or that full moon in February, you kind of get this wave that starts to hit the bank, okay? We all know crappie don't spawn at the same time, okay? Now listen, I'm not going to tell you they're spawning in February. Now, if you live in Texas or you live in Florida, they may spawn in February, all right? But anywhere in, as far as Central America or the central United States, at Tennessee, Kentucky, Arkansas, South Carolina, North Carolina, kind of along that line, okay, you're going to see, especially in the dirtier lakes, when you get these warm days, you're going to see a wave of fish that will push up, all right? They're going to move shallow. So those fish that were sitting out there in that 25, 30 feet of water, they're actually going to start coming up, and they're going to hit the bank, and they're going to get in that 4, 5, 6, 8 feet of water that they would move up into to potentially spawn. Now, as we all know, in February, those warm days don't last, right? So you get these fish move up, then it gets cold again, these fish move out. So they're coming up, they're coming out, they're coming up, they're coming out. Those warm days, okay? It's a lot more prevalent in those dirtier lakes. Now, I say that because this past Saturday, I had a guide trip with Jackie, and we went to Loudon, okay? We talked about Tellico, Loudon. He eventually decided he'd rather go to Loudon. So we said, cool, let's go to Loudon. So we went. We fished everything from 30 feet to 4 feet, all right? And we found a lot of fish. I mean, we found fish on stake beds. We found fish on trees. We found fish on docks. We found fish on marinas. We found fish. Okay, finding fish was not hard. We found one school of fish under marina that had to have 300 or 400 fish in it, but they were locked down. Okay, they would not bite. Now we could catch 2, we could catch 3, we might catch 1. But we could not sit there and just repeatedly catch fish. We just couldn't do it. It just was not the day for it. Now, a lot of the reason for that is we just got a cold front this past weekend. I mean, a cold front came through this past weekend. Now we're warming back up. Now a cold front's going to hit again this weekend, okay? So when you hit those spells, especially on those dirtier lakes, and Loudon is probably the dirtiest lake in East Tennessee because it has just more silt content because you got a lot of runoff from Knoxville and from the big cities, you get a lot of fish that are moving, in, out. And you do get some early spawners in February on Loudon, okay? But when those fish move like that much, and they're all constantly, they're yo-yoing, if you will, okay? The weather's yo-yoing, the water temperature's yo-yoing, the fish are in and out. It's just this yo-yo effect. A lot of those fish just get lethargic, and they just get, blah. Just like, you and I would if we were getting yo-yoed around. Let's say you get a new puppy and you can't sleep at night because this thing right here won't be quiet long enough to let you sleep good, right? Yeah, my sleep schedule's a yo-yo, up, down, up, down, up, down. Trust me, I wake up in the mornings and I'm just like, leave me alone. I'm ready to go off on somebody. Just say something wrong. Because I hadn't got any sleep because I've been yo-yoed up and down, right? So the fish are the same way. When those fish are in, out, the water temperatures are up, down in February, it can put those fish in kind of a lull state. Now, can you go find active fish? Sure. You can go out there and still catch fish. And we caught fish. We didn't catch a bunch of fish, but we caught fish. But those fish just get in that pattern of, I guess in that uneasy pattern where there's no consistent weather. The best crappie bite you're going to find is after you have 6 to 8 days of consistent weather. All right. Just nice, clean, consistent weather for 6 or 8 days. Go fishing. All right. Because you're going to find fish that have adjusted, that are in that pattern, and they're going to stay on that pattern as long as the weather doesn't change. Now, again, let's get a little more in depth with it. Barometric pressures. They're doing this in February. They're going up, down. They're yo-yoing too. All right. And the reason being is because of the temperatures and the cold fronts and the warm fronts and cold fronts that are always coming through in February. And this is Tennessee. This is East Tennessee I'm talking about. Okay. We get a lot of, now consider this, you're in your area. Okay. For the guys that are up north of us, Heidi, you're way up there north of us. Some of you guys are from Louisiana. You're way down south of us. Your lull month may be, Heidi, yours may be April, okay, because you're so much further north. Those guys that are down south, like in Texas, yours may be January or December. Well, probably not December, but maybe January, right, in Texas. You guys from down south, Monroe, Louisiana, right there, Mr. Roundtree, okay? You may experience that up, down, warm, cold. You may see that in January, where we see it in February, okay? So keep that in mind. That affects the fish. If they don't get a consistent weather pattern, it's very difficult to stay on a consistent bite when they're constantly moving around because of weather and pressures, okay? That is what we experienced this past weekend. Now, the weekend before, we had some consistent weather. We did have some rain, but it wasn't anything, it wasn't a cold rain. It wasn't a warm rain. It was just rain, but the weather and the temperatures and the pressures stayed consistent. And we had a trip on Teleco the week before and caught 70, 80, 90 fish. I don't even know. We couldn't keep count because we were catching them so fast. So, keep that in mind when you're thinking about going fishing and when you're out there on the lake. And, one thing we asked each other Saturday was, if we had a minnow, could we put a minnow down there? I have literally had days that are like that where it doesn't matter what you put in front of those fish. It doesn't matter if you put a stump bug in front of them. It doesn't matter if you put a minnow in front of them. It doesn't matter what you put in front of them. If they're lethargic and they're not hungry, they're not going to eat. That's a minnow or anything else. Okay. So keep that in mind, changing baits. And we changed baits. I don't know how many times Saturday we changed baits, colors, baits. We changed just, I don't know how many times, but a lot. And it just never did. Never. You might get one bite, but it would just not turn the fish on. Okay, they were just in that lull. It was just the stars aligned, and it was horrible. But again, we caught some fish. We didn't get skunked. Okay, we caught fish, just not like you would want to on a good day. So keep that in mind. Again, where you're located in the United States, or what region you're fishing in, it's going to be probably a different month. But for us, it's February. Now, some of you guys are going to say, well, do you see that in the winter too? You do, to a certain extent, okay? But in the winter, they're not thinking about spawning, okay? They're feeding. Those fish move up to feed in the winter, in the fall, okay? In the fall, there's that fall bite. There's that fall feed. They'll move up to feed in the fall, but they don't get affected as much by the temperature in the fall. So you don't see that much of a lull, or those fish that are lethargic. You don't see that in the fall because they're not thinking about spawning, and they're not going super, super shallow. I mean, those fish may move up on a flat feed. They may go from 25 feet up to 15 or 12 feet, but they're not hitting banks, right? Those fish generally aren't hitting banks. Now, you may find them shallow under a dock in 6-8 feet of water, but typically speaking, they've got a different mindset, if you will, come first of the year. Come first of the year, they're thinking about spawning, okay? And when they're thinking about spawning, they got one thing on their mind: reproduction, right? They're like 16, or, well, let's not say 16, about 18-year-old kid that, has got girl crazy. So they ain't nothing mess with him. He's got girls on the brain, right? Everybody was 18 at one point, girls on the brain, and nothing else mattered. Nothing. You can't tell an 18-year-old boy nothing, can you? Well, Fisher's a lot the same way. Hey, you need to eat dinner. No. I got a date tonight, Dad. I gotta go. Woo, out the door. Hey, you need to eat something. You gotta stay healthy. Nope. Phew. So anyway, with that being said, that's kind of how I view that February lull. And again, you can catch fish. You can go out there and you can catch fish. But if you have a bad day, guys, chalk it up to just a bad day fishing. It ain't the end of the world, okay? Everybody has bad days. I have bad days. Obviously, we had one Saturday. I don't know exactly how many fish we caught. I think 15, 20 fish, something like that is about all we caught. It's a bad day. All right, but that's all right. It happens. Happens to everybody. Happens to me. Happens to you. Happens to everybody. Okay. Different lakes are going to fish different. Clear lakes. Again, we were talking about the dirtier lakes. Clearer lakes, you're going to get. Hey, would you calm down a little bit? Hey, would you calm down a little bit? Clearer lakes are a little bit different. Light penetration's different. Temperatures are a little bit different. So keep in mind that, those muddier lakes, those clear lakes, the clear lakes don't have as much silt content in them. They may not warm up as fast. Okay. You even need to look at it from the perspective of the north side of the lake gets the most sun, right? You ever heard that? So which side of the lake are you fishing? Which end of the lake are you fishing? For us here in East Tennessee, the north end of our lakes are what? They're shallower. Okay. North end of the lakes are shallower, so they'll warm up quicker. The southern end of the lakes down by the dam, it's deeper typically. On average, it's deeper, so it's going to warm up a little slower. So typically your spring bite or your spawn starts earlier up the lake than it does down the lake. And you can literally follow your spawn. It's great in East Tennessee because it's like we have, is this distracting to you guys? It's a little distracting to me. But it's like we have 4 spawns because our lakes are so large. You can go all the way up in the river, and they may start spawning, March 1st. And then you'll come down the lake 6 or 8 miles, and it's maybe the 3rd week of March. And then come down the lake another 6 or 8 miles, and it may be the 2nd week of April. And then come down another 6 miles towards the dam or 8 miles towards the dam, and it may be the end of April, 1st of May. So, we get a lot of different stages of spawn on our lakes, and we're blessed with that because we can move down the lake with those fish as they spawn, and we can fish the spawn for months down here. I mean, I've caught spawning fish on Watts Bar in June, okay? And I'm talking spawning fish in 2 feet of water spewing eggs. I mean, you pick them up out of the lake and they're spewing. So, and that was in June. All right, so, you know, we've got a lot of different ways to catch fish here, and you know, some of you guys are gonna be like, man, that's awesome, because you know, Millwood or you know, Grenada, 3 weeks of the spawn and they're done. You know, you get 3 weeks and that's it. If you're not there in those 3 weeks, you're post spawn or pre spawn. You know, you're pre spawn or post spawn, one of the two. But you got 3 weeks to be there during spawn, because that lake's just the same depth all the way across, pretty much. I mean, there's holes, but it's that average lake depth is about the same. Let's see. I see what you guys are saying here. If I missed any of your questions, please don't let me miss them before the end of the show. Oh, yeah, see, Eric, in Iowa, we're expecting 6 to 8 inches of snow tomorrow. So there you go. In Iowa, they're on that woo again, okay? So they're hitting bottom again here tomorrow. It's actually supposed to get cold down here this weekend again, too, so we're going to go, because we're going like this right now with this warm weather, but this weekend, okay? Joe, I vote the whole club all load up and go fish with LaRue. Tournament on Grenada. I like that idea. If I get my wife to agree, I'm in. Agree 100. Thank you. Jimmy Pratt, agree. Petco don't like you fishing with their goldfish. Goldfish? I don't fish with goldfish. Hey, I got news. I ain't fishing with no goldfish. Ain't that right, Lolly girl? No, we not fishing with goldfish. Ray Pratt's crazy. He's crazy, man. Yes. All right, so again, that's kind of I guess that's my synopsis of what I would call the February lull. It's not really a lull. I hate using that word, but, you know, it's more or less just hitting it at the right time. You know, if you don't hit it right, you're going to have a hard day on the water, okay? If you hit one of them cold fronts, you know, most guppies, yeah, you guys can guess all you want, but trust me, you ain't going to guess. You ain't going to guess it. It's not going to happen. Okay. So again, if you hit it right or wrong, you'll know it. All right. So if you hit it wrong, typically the day after a cold front is horrible. All right. If a cold front moves in on Friday, Saturday's going to suck. All right. I'm sorry. It's going to happen. Because those fish just, again, you really need that pattern of consistent weather, okay, in order to get those fish on a consistent pattern. All right? Yeah, right. Say yes, 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 yes. All right, I had mentioned it tonight. I'll go ahead and mention it now. Right down here below my doggy. Right there. Discount codes, 10% off, guys. Crappie Cove on their website, crappiecove.com, or in the store, okay? Wired gets you 10% off. 10% off fishing specialties, your fishing specialties live scope poles, your fishing specialties equipment. Wired there gets you 10% off. Your stowaway mounts, stowawaymounts.com, 10% off code is wired as well there. And then, as always, 15% off. Bonehead tackle. All your bonehead tackle, 15% off with Crappie 2023, guys. Make sure you take advantage of those discount codes. Those are there to help you guys out. You know, when I partner with somebody, I always ask them for a discount code. I won't partner with anybody without a discount code for you guys to be able to take advantage of a discount. That's what it's all about, right? Discounts. Saving some money. So take advantage of those discount codes. Here's a good question. You got thump gel. So thump gel. No, I don't have thump gel. Okay. I'm not, as far as scents are concerned, I'm not a huge believer in scents. Albert, to be honest with you, I know there's going to be some people on here that say, you're retarded, Matt. You're retarded. Put a crappie nibble on there and they'll bite it every time. I hear you. I hear you. But I'm not a huge believer in scents, okay? Contrast and bait profile and profile, period, I'm a believer in. But not so much the scent thing, okay? So I don't have thump gel, and I know the thump gel is that where you can see it better on live scope too? Is that the same one that, you know, shows up better on live scope? Or is that just the scented gel? Because there's one out right now that you can actually see better on live scope, they claim. And the guys that have used it say, you know, I hadn't used it, so I can't tell you, but the guys that have used it say that you can see it better on live scope once you put this stuff, and they put it on their line and their jig. So, you know, they say you can see it better. I don't know what is in it, but I'd say there's probably some kind of metal flake or something in it where it just shows up better on your live scope screen. You get a brighter return, but I don't have any problem seeing my jig on live scope, so I hadn't ever thought about using it. But bait pop, that's it. Yeah, Mike, bait pop. Bait pop is what is the one that you can put on your bait and see it better on live scope, supposedly. So, but no, I don't use bait pop. I don't use thump gel. I don't use crappie nibbles. You know, if fish aren't active, go find active fish. You know, some point during a day in every lake, you will find fish that'll bite. You'll find active fish. Now, am I going to tell you, like Saturday on Loudon, we fished from Prater Flats, or we fished from Ish Creek to above Louisville Point, okay? For those of you that know where that is. But it's probably, I don't know, it's probably 12 miles worth of lake. And there wasn't active fish that we found. Now, we found some. Don't get me wrong. Like I said, I mean, we caught fish. And the active fish that we found bit. I mean, when we put a jig in front of them, they'd turn and hit it just like that. But then the ones that were still there were dead to the world and didn't want anything to do with the jig. So, you know, again, if you're not on active fish, move and go find active fish, okay? Dale, hey, from Danville, Kentucky, I've enjoyed your how-to videos. Well, thank you, Dale. I appreciate it. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being on the live. And I've got another 2 more how-to videos to finish that series out, coming out soon. I've actually been, before I got on the live tonight, I've been over there editing. So I'm getting all my editing done, trying to get everything wrapped up so I can get it out there for you guys. I've got 2, 4, 5, 6. I've got 6 shows that I'm in the process of editing right now. So got a lot of good content coming, a lot of fish being caught, a lot of cool stuff, and a lot of how-to stuff, and a lot of good informational videos for you guys. Ow, you got sharp claws. Eric, I spent enough on plastics without buying scents. Yeah, there's no doubt. There's no doubt. So I did a video a while back, and you guys can go find it in the video. You go to the channel, go to videos, scroll down, and you'll see, well, I can't remember the exact title, but it says, do they work? Do they really work? And it's got the crappie nibble box on there, and it's got some copper tone sunblock on there, and it's got some Mountain Dew on there. And anyway, in the video, you need to watch it. It's pretty cool. I mean, you've always heard, like I said, don't put sunblock on, because if you get it on your bait, they won't hit it. Nah. I lathered a hair jig up in Copper Tone Sport and dropped it down the brush pile, and it was that quick. Whack. So, you know, don't believe all the hype, because some of it is just that. It's hype. Okay. Cruz, what's going on? Welcome, buddy. Welcome to the Wired Fam. I appreciate you for subbing. Say thank you, Lolly. Say thank you. Appreciate you for being here, buddy. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Anything you want to know, I'm here for you. And I appreciate you being here. Ronnie Harris, what's up? What's up? Tim Fleming, the thump gel net is going to be nice whenever they come out with it, it goes in the live well so you can pull all your fish out at one time. Hey, that's pretty cool. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I may use that. So they've got like a kind of like in a minnow bucket where you got the net that goes down in the minnow bucket and you pull the minnow bucket net up. They got one that's going in the live well. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I may use that. YZ sunscreen, huh? Hey, well, you can go watch the video. It's there. I mean, chartreuse hair jig turned completely white with sunblock. Drop that joker down there and whack. And I caught more than one. I think I caught 4 or 5 right there on video, just one after the other. Just drop down, whack, drop down, whack. I mean, it was one after the other. And I mean, you could see the copper tone still on the jig because it stuck to it. I mean, it's a hair jig. You could see it on the jig as they're pulling it out of their mouth. Anthony Hayward from Magnolia, Kentucky. Thanks for the videos and everything you do. Appreciate you, buddy. Thank you for saying that. Thanks for watching them. That's what we're here for. And I say we because I don't know. My wife always says, "Who's this we you talk about?" Well, now it's me and Lolly. Now it's me and Lolly, right? We're a we. We're a we, aren't we? Love the videos. I'm in Trinity, North Carolina. Nothing like good-sized crappie in the frying pan. That is the truth. There's no doubt. Larry, hi from Pontiac, Illinois. Matt, I switched to your method for pulling cranks with a trolling weight. Thank you. I'll never go back to the old way. Have you used the same technique for pulling jigs? I have. Yes, Larry, I have. Typically, because of the way that you pull crankbaits with them, so when you have that 3-ounce weight in front of your crankbait, typically you're fishing crankbaits deeper, so you can put those 3-ounce weights right below the boat, and you really don't spook fish any, Larry, okay, because you're fishing deep. Typically, you're pulling crankbaits in the summer. You're catching them out of 20-ish foot of water. You can roll right over top of them with a boat, and they don't move. Typically, when you're pulling jigs, you're pulling them a little shallower. You may be fishing 7 to 10 feet or 11 feet, 12 feet down at the most. So for that purpose, I don't typically use that 3-ounce inline weight because I'm afraid I'll run over those fish and spook them with the boat. Okay, so I still longline troll. And most of the time when I'm fishing, when I'm trolling, especially in the spring and fall, I'll pull planer boards and I'll get those jigs way out to the sides of the boat. Okay. And I'll catch those fish that are, I mean, I can cover an 80-yard stretch with planer boards and 8 rods out. Okay. So I have, yes, and I have caught fish. If you find fish at the right time and you're pulling jigs in the summer, let's say you don't want to pull crankbaits and you want to pull jigs. Yeah, absolutely. You can use that technique 100%. But I would be mindful of the depth of the fish. And if they're anywhere from 12 feet up, I would probably stick to just long line trolling or planer boards or something of that nature. I wouldn't really put my baits right below the boat. Okay. Lakewood Products already has a live well bag. It's called Treasure Chest. Hey, well, I'll have to check that out. You guys check that one out. I have a really big live well though. Like I don't have a dual compartment live well. My live well is one live well and it's bigger. I mean, I fish it's a Ranger 690 VS is my boat for those that don't know. And it is a multi-species boat, or was designed as a multi-species boat. Now it's a one-species boat, and that's crappie. But it was designed as a multi-species boat for the Great Lakes. So it's a deep V boat, and the live well on the side of the boat, it's not in the front, not in the back, it's actually on the side, and it's very deep and very long. So I don't know. I mean, I'll have to check out these bags y'all are talking about and see if they would fit, but that's pretty cool. It's good to know. Because that may be something pretty cool to use, especially for tournament fishing, because, you know, a lot of times, well, I don't know. If it restricts the fish's movement any, I wouldn't want to do it. But because absolutely anal when it comes to my fish and my live well. I mean, I baby my fish in my live well. And you guys, I've talked about this before. I use Please Release Me. I have an extra aerator, a 12-volt power bubbles that I run on the lithium battery with a stone about 18 inches long that I put in there, oxygen stone or a bubbler stone, whatever you want to call it, that I put in there. I also clip every fish. I ice my live well. I water bottle it, and I keep those fish happy. Those fish are happier in my live well than they were in the lake. I can assure you that. The only thing I don't do is feed them, which, hey, might have figured out a way. We can shove fillets down their throat, right? Get them to weigh more. We was just being polite and feed them. That's all we was doing. All right, so, but yeah, my fish are happy in my live well. So I don't know if a bag restricted my fish any, I probably wouldn't do that. But I don't know. I'll check them out. I appreciate the tip. Let's see here. You. James, thanks, Matt. Love the videos. You have a special way of explaining the weary crappie. Wondering what is your favorite trolling motor and feature? Oh, this is a very good question. So for those that don't know, I own a electronics install company, and it's Wired Marine Electronics. You can check us out on Facebook, Wired Marine Electronics on Facebook. Smash that like on there. And I have had the pleasure of installing everything, okay? So let me talk from an installer's perspective first, and then I'll talk from an angler's perspective, and then I'll talk from just a flat-out usability and feature perspective, okay? So, ow, that was my neck. All right, so from an installer's perspective, okay, James, I'm going to go with the Garmin Force number 1. Okay. Why Garmin Force number 1? Well, it's easy because it's the easiest to install. All right. Number 2 would be the Ultrex. And then number 3 would be the Lowrance Ghost. And then number 4 would be the Terrover Ulterra. In that order. That would be my top 4 or 5, I guess, right? So those would be, as far as an installer's perspective, those would be it for me. Okay. Why do I like the Garmin as an install over the others? Because the Garmin is just one. It's a motor on the bow and a power cord. That's it. Okay. There is no heading sensor. There is no additional power needed. There is no, it goes together so much easier. You can do it with one person. I mean, in Ultrex, those that have installed an Ultrex know that it is tough to install an Ultrex with one person. It can get tough because that head unit is heavy, and putting that head unit onto that base is not fun. Okay, so it can get a little tough. And that heading sensor on a lot of boats, you have to run an additional wire from the console all the way to the front of the boat so that you can put that heading sensor on a switch. Because if you install an Ultrex and you don't put that heading sensor on a switch, it will drain their battery. If they don't fish for a week, that heading sensor will drain their battery, and they'll end up with a dead battery on the lake, and they'll call you wanting to know why in the crap you installed that and didn't put it on the switch. Okay. So a lot of times on a lot of boats, they don't have power to the front that shuts off when the boat shuts off. Okay. The power that runs to the front typically is run through the fuse panel and typically is hooked to the battery and typically keeps power on it unless it's run through an accessory switch on their dash. So you have to run from the accessory switch, and I know I'm talking quick, but you have to run from the accessory switch up to the front and put the heading sensor on it. It's a pain in the butt. Garmin, you don't have to do that. So for that reason, Garmin's the easiest to install. But as a fisherman, okay, take it out of my shop for a minute, into fishing, the Ultrex is number one. I will not waver off my Ultrex. Okay. And I've run Garmin's. I've run the Force. I've run the Ghost, Lowrance Ghost. I had a Tarova on the boat. The Ulterra is basically the same thing as a Tarova. It just goes up and down by itself. Okay. The Ultrex is number one. The cable steer, the cable / electric steer. It's a cable steer, but it's electrically driven for spot lock reasons, right? And for remote reasons, right? So that blend of cable and electric for the steering is where it's at. I'm telling you, the reaction time, the little minute movements that you need when you're trolling. The Ultrex is where it's at. I love my Ultrex. As long as it'll run, I'll keep up. I'll keep my Ultrex. Okay. Now, if my Ultrex blew up and I couldn't buy another one, I would buy a Garmin Force. That'd be my second motor. Okay. As a fisherman, the foot pedal on a Force, I still am not used to. It's different because it's wireless. So it's a little different. It's Bluetooth basically. And it's a little laggy. I don't like that. I like that cable steer. I'm used to the cable steer. Okay. But I do like the Garmin Force. Okay. It would be number 2 on my boat as a fisherman. Okay. The features that I like about the Force are it has, it obviously is brushless, so it's a little quieter. Okay. It does have plenty of power. My personal opinion, I don't necessarily think it has more power than anything else in its class. Okay. So if you get an Ultrex that's the comparable thrust, do I really feel like you're getting a whole lot more power? No. But let's face it. I mean, who's trolling for crappie wide open? I don't know anybody that trolls for crappie wide open with a trolling motor. Okay. So top end really isn't that big of a deal for me. I don't, if I need to move from one side of the lake to the other, I got a brand new Merc Pro XS 150 4-stroke back there that sips gas like this puppy drinks water just a little bit at a time. Just a little bit at a time. I'm firing that up going across the lake. I'm not using my trolling motor to do it. So top end really isn't big for me. Okay. Again, not having to have that heading sensor is nice. Let's talk about the remote controls. The remote controls, there's your Ultrex remote or my Ultrex remote. I like this remote. It fits in my hand really well. It's not very long. It's kind of compact. I like the carabiner, the little carabiner clip that clips on my belt. I don't like having it around my neck because it hits my rod and stuff. I keep it on my belt down pocket level. So I just reach down there and hit my remote when I want to hit my remote. I don't really like this remote more than the Force. The Force has a great remote, but it's a little long for me because I have to move my hand up it to hit the top buttons and move it down it to hit the bottom buttons. This one, if I grab this remote right here, I can hit every single button on this remote and not have to move my hand. Okay. So I don't have to move my hand up or down to hit every button on my remote. Okay. So for that reason, I like this remote a little better. All right. This is battery powered. The Garmin Force is battery powered remote as well. I keep extra batteries. I'd rather have that than the chargeable one, because if you have the chargeable remote and it goes dead, then you have to put it on charge and charge it until it's charged enough to use it. But if you have one that's battery powered, you throw new batteries in it, gone. Okay. And then spot lock. Let's talk about spot lock. This is, again, my personal opinion, okay? I've had the Ultrex. I've had Tarovas. I've had Gen 1, Gen 2. I've had all that. I have dealt with a lot of Forces with the spot lock. One thing you're going to hear about the Force is the spot lock sucks. Well, it did, but it doesn't anymore, okay? Their new generation has improved threefold, really tenfold, and it doesn't do that whole move up, down, left, right, move and spin and go. Can't find that lock, can't get locked in. But Ultrex still has them beat. The Ultrex still has them beat as far as spot lock. You can hit the spot lock on that Ultrex and it won't move you. Now, on a day where there's no wind and it's just calm, your spot lock is going to wander because it needs that constant movement that it keeps going back to, okay? There's my spot. Wait, there's my spot. Wait, where there? Oh, okay, there it is. Oh, wait, let's move over. Oh, there it is. So on a real calm day, it will move around a little, but with a good current or good wind, that thing will lock you down. The Ultrex will lock you down, and you will be able to stay right on your spot. The Force will lock you down, and it does do better than the first generation did. The second gen is way better, and it does a good job. Okay, is it as accurate as the Ultrex? No, but it does a good job. So those are pretty much your key features. The 24 volt, 36 volt exchange on the Force, where you don't have to, you can run either 24 or 36 with the same motor. That's not really a big thing for me. I mean, if 24 volts will push my boat, why do I want to pay for an extra battery? You know what I'm saying? So I would run 24 volt. I see where you could get a longer life out of 36, but I've never killed my lithiums. As a matter of fact, before I went to lithium on my trolling motor, I had two 12 volt in series to 24, just lead acids, and I never killed them. So, I haven't had any issues with batteries in my trolling motor. So, James, I hope that helps. I hope that answers your questions. If you want to talk more about trolling motors, by all means, send me a message, private message me. You can find me on Facebook all over the place, Wired for Crappie, myself, Matt Zenas. Shoot me a direct message and we can talk more if you want to. How do you go about breaking down a new lake? I have a really hard time finding fish on a new lake. I start with visible structure, okay? New lakes, start with visible structure, docks, laydowns, standing timber. Start with that visual stuff. Don't make it hard on yourself, okay? Start with the visual stuff and then go from there. So if you start visual, okay, say you start looking, you don't find anything on timber. You don't find anything on laydowns. But then, bam, you find them on docks, okay? Start asking yourself, what depth docks are they on? Okay, well, they're in 10 to 15 feet of water. Well, that timber that I was looking at was in 25 feet of water. So, okay, can I go find timber in that 12 to 15 or 15 to 18 feet and find fish there? Then you can kind of morph yourself over into that and maybe find some fish in shallower timber. Then all of a sudden you've put two patterns together. Then you can say, okay, well, I found them there. What about over here on laydowns, on bluffs that are laid down in 12 or 15 feet of water? And then bam, there all of a sudden you found a third pattern. So you can start kind of point yourself in the right direction with that visual stuff. Now, I will say this. The visual stuff will hold fish, but it gets fished, right? Because it's visual. So when you find that stuff, don't just live or die on it, okay? Go find some of that stuff that's not visual. Go find some of that stuff that is out in open water, in those depth ranges that you find those fish in on the visual stuff. And you'll be more productive because the visual stuff, like I said, is going to get fished a lot more. It's because it's visual. People can see it. They don't have to use their electronics to find it. There's a lot of guys out there that are still very visual fishermen, and they fish that visual stuff regardless. They don't go look for that offshore stuff, okay? So keep that in mind too. But that would be how I would start. David Williams, good evening. Scott Seals, my puck is by the console for my Ultrex, done from dealer. I wanted to move it to the front, was told it runs off the head of motor. My spot lock gets janky sometimes. That's got to be why, ? Scott, very, very, very good. This is going to help some people. This right here, listen, I'm going to cut this and put this in its own video and drop it, okay? Now, let me tell you, guys, for those of you, it's called, the puck, it's called a heading sensor for a reason, okay? It is not, Scott, they were right, okay? Listen to me, though. The dealer was right, okay? When you spot lock, your head unit is what spot locks you, not your heading sensor. But, okay, you guys know what the jog feature is. Jog feature is, okay? If you jog, Scott, that is when the heading sensor gets involved, because the heading sensor locks in, and that's what you jog off of, okay? So if you tell your boat to jog up 5 feet, jog right 5 feet, it's going to jog off your puck. I will simply refuse to ever put that puck at the console, okay? When you go to the lake and you take your remote and you program your remote to your trolling motor, and you do what they call is the bow offset, okay? Does everybody know what bow offset is? If you don't, it's calculating the offset from that puck to the center of your boat. The bow offset. How far offset is your puck? Okay? So, if your puck is sitting over here on your console and your trolling motor is all the way over there, yes, it is going to cause you an issue. At some point, there's going to be an issue, because not only is it 10 feet away from your trolling motor, it's offset the center of your trolling motor, because it says in the manual, it says that puck needs to be mounted as close to center line of your boat as possible. And it absolutely infuriates me when they don't do that. And let me tell you why installers don't do that. It's because, just like I told you guys about earlier, okay, they don't do that because they don't want to take the extra time to run that wire from an ACC switch, an accessory switch, that's what ACC stands for on your dash, an accessory switch, all the way to the front of the boat and put that puck where it's supposed to go. That's laziness. That's what I call it. And that's crap. And I'm sorry, but I'm not going to set up a boat that way. Okay? So, to answer your question, Scott, yes, they are correct. It does not affect your spot lock. Your spot lock, when it spot locks, it's going to spot lock with the head unit. That's the truth. But I'm telling you right now, with the offset setting and that puck being that far away and that far off the center of your boat, it's going to cause you to move around. It's going to cause you that issue, because it is going to try to keep that puck in the right area, so that if you jog on your remote, it moves that puck 5 feet up. Okay? So, let's say you've got it spot locked. You spot lock, and then the wind changes, and your boat goes around like this. Your trolling motor is still sitting on that spot, right? But when you jog, it's going to try to jog you back around here and move you up like this, because it's that heading sensor is now 10 feet and all the way flipped around, and it's going. No. Sorry, I hate it. I don't get me on my soapbox. I tell you what, I get on it, Scott. But no, I do not install those. I do not personally install the puck at the console. No, not gonna happen. James, Matt, much appreciated. I now have my mind set on a simple cable drive Minn Kota Maxim from variable speed, going with 12 volt, 55 pound for my tracker. Thanks again. You're welcome, James. Asleep. Hello, Wired and all. Got my 1243 in today. Yeehaw. Chris getting new toys. Thanks, Matt. I really needed to hear this because I thought I was right about this. Well, I can tell you right now, I wouldn't set it up that way, Scott. Um, that would not be the way that I would set it up. No. Haven't been able to catch these lately. Hope everything is going well. Always glad to catch it on the replay. All the best. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate you for being here. I'm glad you got to catch it too. Rick, oops, I have to redo mine. Puck, that is. Sorry, Rick. I don't mean to bust your bubble or cause you any extra work, buddy. But hey, I'm telling you, that's simply why they put them. They put them on the dash sometimes because they just don't want to take time to run it because they know too. Now they did do you a favor, Scott. They didn't just hook it up front to a power source because you can pull power off that 12 volt for your running lights. You can pull 12 volts off that, and you can run. I mean, you could run it up there from that and put it on the light switch. Just not put your light in and flip it on and off that way. But that's not the right way to do it. The right way to do that is one of two ways. The one or two ways that I run those is I will rather run it off the ACC switch on the console to the front. Now, some boats don't have an accessory switch. You okay? Some boats don't have an accessory switch on the console. So what do I do then? Don't you throw up on me. You okay? If there's not an accessory switch available on the console, then what I will do, okay, is I will get I think they're like $4 or $5 at the auto parts store. Get you a toggle switch, okay? You can get a rocker type switch, or you can get a paddle type switch, whatever you like, whatever fits your fancy. I use the rocker switch, similar to what's on the dash of the boat. Get that rocker switch, install it up there at the front, find you power. However you get power up there, whether you run it from the battery, you run it from the fuse panel, or you run it from the console, however you get, or a lot of boats have an extra power, positive and a negative, that run up to the front, but they're constant power. They're not on a switch, okay? It's just constant on off because they use those obviously for depth finders, and depth finders have a power button, so you can turn them on and off, okay? So get you a rocker switch from the auto parts store, okay? Put that up in the front of the boat, run your power to it, run through that switch to your puck, and then just tell them when you reach down and turn on your trolling motor, flip this switch and your puck will come on, okay? So there's a couple different ways to do it, but, that is how I do the Minn Kota puck. Obviously, I'm late, but is that a midget dog? No, it's not a midget dog. This is the new member to the Wired fam, Chris. Her name is Lolly, because my wife got tired of all the boys running around, because we got 3 little boys, don't we? 3 little boys. So she needed a girl in the house. So this is our new addition. Her name's Lolly, and she's a Cocker Spaniel, and she is my bestest friend. She's my friend, okay? She loves me more than my wife. Ain't don't you, girl? Yes. So this is our new addition, Chris. This is Lolly. Say Lolly Wired. Lolly Wired. Yeah. Aren't you? Yeah. Yeah. All right. Paul, wish I could have seen this earlier today. That is what I have been doing today, installing new trolling motor. Guess I will be moving my puck tomorrow. See, look, I mean, Scott, I'm telling you, if you guys have a question, ask it, because, hey, it may help others. We've already helped. Scott, you have already helped 2 people tonight by asking that question. So thank you for that. John, good afternoon, Matt. I've been having issues with my LVS 32 with signal loss. Called Garmin, and it was under warranty. I paid extra to upgrade to the LVS 34. Should be here Friday. Can't wait. That's awesome. That is awesome, John. I've actually got to call into Garmin as well, because my 34 has been doing the same thing. So we've actually got to call into Garmin too, don't we, Lolly? Yes, we do. And we will talk about that once I get mine rectified. I've got to get some video for them. I hadn't got it yet, but I've got to get some video for them and really hadn't done it yet. Let's see here. All right, guys, we've been on for a little over an hour. Lolly and I are going to say, see ya. See ya. But as always, we'll be here next Wednesday, 9 o'clock, same time, same place. If you guys would, keep an eye out for the new videos that drop, the new shorts that are dropping, because we're doing shorts now, right? Just like you, Lolly. We're doing shorts. Shorts. Doesn't it say in the Old Tricks instructions where to mount the puck? Yeah, it does. It tells you all, Anthony, how to go about doing the puck and all that good stuff. But we got our man card. Mine's laminated. Okay, so when you got the man card and it's laminated, you just want to do it. I got this. That's how that works. So the directions don't always get read, my friend. You know what I'm saying? Because hey, when you get that man card laminated, then you can do it all. You know what I'm saying? You can do everything. So, but yes, it does. It does tell everybody in there where to mount those, doesn't it, Lolly? Yes, it does. We sure. So you can check it out in there, and it will help you guys. It will help you. Okay. Y'all watch for naders tomorrow. There are gonna be some naders somewhere, I guess. Scott says. Let's see. Eric, can you try? Yes, I can, Eric. All right, guys. So, like I said, we're going to call it a night. We're going to say good night, okay? And we will see you guys same place, same time next week right here on the live 9 o'clock on Wednesday nights. I appreciate you guys for watching. I appreciate everything y'all do for the channel. Thank you for the super chat tonight. We're going to get Lolly some new treats, aren't we? We get you a bed, some treats. We get you a new bed. Yeah, new bed. So I've already almost outgrown mine. So yes, I have. So Daddy got me a bed. So I'm almost big enough. I'm too big for it already. So I'm growing. Yes. All right, guys. So we'll see you guys next week. Thank you again. God bless. I hope you guys have a great week. And we will catch you on the next one.